Whoa.
Hey everyone, just hanging out with some friends here, playing some Fallout
Hey.
4. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Hey everyone, just hanging out with some friends here. Oh god, I forgot to mute. I forgot to
Are
mute the
you
Twitch stream. It was being recursive. We're good now. Oh boy. So yeah, yeah,
are you a big Fallout fan? Like, have you played the other ones?
I have
Has
played.
he?
I have played Fallout 1, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel on the PlayStation 2, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4. I haven't.
Gotcha. So most of them.
Yeah, I never.
Most of the relevant ones.
I would argue most of the irrelevant ones too. But no, I haven't played the second game, which is kind of a big deal. But I just, as much as I love isometric games, there are ones that just are kind of clunky. And after playing the
I
first game, I just didn't want to put myself through it.
I found it really hard to get into one. I tried playing it for a little bit, and I don't know. I really liked Baldur's Gate, and I was able to get into that, so I thought that I would be able to get into Fallout 1. And I mean Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I don't mean 3, which I haven't
Hey.
played yet.
Well,
But
ultimately
yeah.
ultimately the issue is like that generation of games do not like help you in any way. They're not inclined to tell you what you need to do at any point, and it's often
Right.
something
Yo, she
very.
looks like she's about to air off the craziest slur.
What,
To
like,
be fair, they
What?
The way the way the mouth was moving, like the
oh
way her
and
mouth was quivering, it's like she
what, on
wanted.
your Dragon's Dogma
Ooh,
stream?
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
the queen.
I forgot you were playing Dragon's Dogma first. I was like, wait, what? My character?
I'm
No.
about to I'm about to belt out the craziest slurs right now.
Oh
Are
no.
you ready?
Oh no. Please no.
No, I'm not gonna get you banned. Probably.
I
We're just
appreciate the vote
gonna.
of confidence.
But with like Fallout and stuff like that, I mean, older games had fairly long manuals telling you what to do typically, and they expected you to read those if you were confused, rather than having in-game tutorials.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you get a digital copy off of GOG, that's not going to help you any.
Oh, I mean, fair. The one that came with Steam, because I have Fallout 1 and 2 on Steam, they have a digital manual. Like they have a PDF.
Really?
Uh, yeah, they have a PDF of the original manual. For quite a few games, honestly, pretty much any older game you can find it. Um, the weirdest one, as far as like old games with manuals that are alarmingly long and complicated, the weirdest one for me has been like looking at the manuals for the old Wizardry series. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one.
Might and Magic?
No, Wizardry.
Wizardry was like the thing that inspired JRPGs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was an old
It's like
it was like a 2.5D first person
it's like a yeah first person
dungeon
like maze
crawler.
dungeon crawler.
Um, but
Imagine
there's a
like do you know like Etrian Odyssey and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. I
Like you know
or
the perspective
SMT
like
one and
the
two,
first person. Hmm?
SMT one and two as well. Shin Megami
Yeah,
Tensei
SMT
one and
one
Shin
and
Megami
two.
Tensei two.
But yeah,
um
just anything with like the 3D maze perspective is
the
just like
the one
directly inspired by Wizardry, but like JRPGs in general were like very definitely like this
Mm-hmm.
is Japan. Dragon Quest is Japan does Wizardry.
what comes to mind is Labyrinth of Refrain.
Oh yeah.
You ever played that?
That, that's Atlas, right? I haven't played it, but
It's very
am I
fun.
thinking of the same?
Uh, you can find it on like you can find it on Steam. It was like a PS Vita game
Okay,
that
I've
they
heard of it.
ported
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah. It's on Switch as well.
Yeah, it's a very fun game. it's
Oh, it's NIS. I see. Okay.
yeah. I'll say this much. It's a little spoilery, but it is what sold me on the game. You can play the role of Gulliver in Gulliver's Travels, and you fight the Lilliputians, and they're all little shits, and you can just step on their houses and smack them out of the sky. It's very, very thematically fun.
I'm in this house and I'm stealing their stuff. I'm opening their chest. What is this?
The Legend of Zelda.
Have you read the?
Zelda would never anymore.
Sure, they would.
Yeah, the manuals for the wizardry games were weird. Like,
I've got a
there's
few
just
minutes to browse.
straight up misogyny in them, which I was not expecting to see
That's
in a game manual.
that's
But
wild.
yeah, like
I don't think that represents the people who made them anymore, but it's just like, yeah.
I mean, it was like a thing where like they designed the game in such a way where like basically you could make most characters be men or women, right? When you're creating your party, but women were pretty much universally worse at every single class that you can take. Uh, which
I forget, weren't
is
there like differences in D&D back then, like AD&D? Didn't they? Wasn't there like gender
minus
gender
2
differences?
strength.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
A lot of old school stuff's bad about that kind of thing.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they probably just thought they were being realistic, but it's not. Yeah.
Not really.
No, I mean, but like that's the thing, right? Is like, well, Gary Gygax was a misogynist. Like, that's not even within like question. If you've looked at some of his old forum posts, he has talked about how he did not believe that his daughters would be into D&D because they have girl brain. Like,
Jeez.
yeah, he was, and this
Wasn't
was like 2006 or something. Like, this wasn't like, yeah, so this wasn't even during.
aware, but at the same
2006?
time, like, you know, I don't know much about the guy, so it doesn't necessarily say, you know, like, how dare you? It's just like, yeah,
2006.
yeah, geez.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was it was pretty wild. But I mean, he wasn't involved in D&D anymore at that point.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, it had long since passed. Like, he wasn't even really that involved in like
AD&D
that much.
No,
Yeah,
he was mostly a first edition dude. But people
yeah.
like to reference him a lot because he helped. He was one of the
He was
creators.
the guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
He was everyone's grandpappy.
and I mean, I like D&D. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I love it, but there are it's definitely come a long way.
It has
Fifth
evolved
edition, I think,
past him.
fifth edition fixed a lot of the problems with like racial alignment. I think
yeah.
was one of the things they tried to
Even then, it took a
alter,
while.
which was good.
Call me
Yeah,
an orc.
more like calling all orcs evil was the issue.
Did it take them that
Or
long?
all
I thought that
drow.
I
There,
thought that they had like gotten
in
rid of that like before then.
in canon,
Um,
it's still true. The problem, like the reasons why they were all evil are still there. It's just like now you can say, well, mine's not because fuck that.
I mean,
I think
you
we
could
always
say
say
that
that.
anyways back then.
Yeah.
Like that was like
Yeah, but
you could always say,
back then you couldn't even play as an orc. I was like,
he plays a half orc.
yeah,
Yeah. You can only play as a half orc until like I don't know. Is like orc a standard class now? Basically.
um, it came later than it did in It came later, but it is in 5. It wasn't available until 5th edition, if I remember correctly. And, like, it came in a manual that was explicitly about introducing more interesting dynamics with monsters. So, like, even then, like, the introduction of it was, hey, look at all these cool different ways you can do monsters. You can even play as them now.
What a novel concept.
So it's a little oof there, but, you know.
Excuse me.
the good and evil dynamic was always weird, because like you'll
Yeah,
have people
it's
Oh
like you
yeah.
have it's like, oh, I'm good, and that means the things I do are good, but like uh, it's not. It's a it's a function of like you're good, so the things you do become good by like uh, so like paladins go around smiting people, right? And their smiting is just because they're paladins, and like
Yeah, that's not great.
yeah.
yeah.
That's never been great. I've always liked the approach of, well, if you happen to upset your if you upset your deity as a paladin, then they're going to like smack you and tell you no. So
And then
like
you fall and lose your powers.
yeah, so like if you're doing things that are like inherently against their interest, then they'll like get up in your business. I like that kind of approach because then you can kind of have a like, oh well, this deity is like morally correct, and that's a
My
bad.
face is morally correct.
Yes, it is, Info. You are a delight.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing, you absolute Adonis?
I had to say it, you know?
You enrich the lives of everyone around you with your presence. You have no reason
That's
to
very true.
apologize.
Well, if you're gonna say all that, then I think I won't go there. On stream, I don't wanna.
I am
Try and
being
get
attacked by
distracted.
a crab.
You
Ooh, I
do want to
got.
stream?
Hmm?
You do want to stream?
No, he was saying on my stream. He doesn't want to
Oh.
say things that would then be like, by virtue of being on my stream, be like affiliated with me. And I appreciate that.
Oh man,
What?
it's
Are
so
people
good
watching? I
talking
have no
about.
idea who's actually in the audience right now.
I have no idea if
Uh,
anyone's watching, to be frank.
I'm on the stream, just but yeah.
Well, feel free to say hi. But no, you don't have to. I don't want to pressure anyone. That'd be
There's a
kind of.
bunch of most likely bots. There's officially two people. One of them is me. The other one I don't know. If anyone else is here, say hello.
You don't have to. I don't want to call
But you
out
don't
any
have to.
lurkers. We're doing
Yeah.
Automatron, the best thing to ever happen to Fallout 4. I almost said New Vegas, but it's definitely didn't happen in New Vegas. Although that would be awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like, in general, I just don't think it'll be a problem. And also, like, if there's anyone aside from me watching the stream right now, it's one person.
So I'm in a bit of a predicament at the moment in my playthrough because I'm actually a pillar of the community, which means that I gave all my stuff to a cultist scam guy, and
If
like,
you're interested in watching the stream, by the way, Misa, like, the link is in TeamSpeak. But
That'll drain my battery like no one's business, and I'm just feeling like
eh,
today.
you don't got, you don't gotta. It's fine.
yep, that is understood. I mean, it's just like a background thing for me anyway.
I'm just
Like,
feeling like talking, and I'm all like kind of out
I
here.
well,
Like,
cool. I feel like talking too. Don't worry.
yeah.
I feel like talking 3,
Well,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
approximately how many other
That's
people
right.
are here. So very
Yeah,
convenient.
Approximately. I'm half a person.
How many other people are here?
Oh.
Cow is saying, like, aside from himself, there are 3 other people here, and you were included in that.
Hey, what's your chest?
Only if you want to be, though.
Sensei, yeah, chest.
That's going to explode. Took a minute, but it did. I am Nostradamus of explosions.
Oh shit! Speaking of explosions,
Yes?
Hmm?
Speaking of
I
explosions.
got a mage.
Ooh.
I've been playing Final Fantasy VI again on a whim, Lisa.
I actually haven't played it, but I really want to.
It's good. I like it quite a bit. I think you'll like it.
I recommend watching
I
this stream, but only after you've played it, so
Okay.
get on it right now because it takes a while to beat that game.
Wait, say?
What, Final
Or,
Fantasy VI?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you don't
mean-
have to watch my stream. I'm just like,
I mean, you don't have to. I'm saying I would recommend it, but I would also recommend beating the game first.
watch it
play
if you're
every
curious.
Final Fantasy on turbo mode, if it has one.
But yeah, like
There are mods
I
for that.
I played it when I played it in like high school on the PS1, like borrowing a friend's copy, and
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot.
on one of those like collections.
Yeah, I
That
enjoyed it a lot.
that's how I was introduced to it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I did most of the things in the game. I never beat it, so now it's just like, well, let's rectify that.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you all the Final Fantasies I've played, including ones I have not beaten, in order of how good I thought they were.
I know 9 is like
Alright.
your favorite.
Nine's
Here we
the
go.
best.
9, followed by 10, followed by 7, followed by Crystal Chronicles, followed by 1, followed by Mystic Quest.
Nice.
and-
You know the music.
Them
music.
fighting words.
Yes, it has two great songs. Its entire soundtrack.
Mystic
There's 3 good
Quest.
songs.
Mystic
Oh
Quest
yeah, I'm sorry,
acknowledged.
three.
Mystic
Quest
Mystic
Quest.
what?
Quest is acknowledged. Yeah, that's
Oh.
fucking right.
I mean,
Crab
I did not
Rave.
beat it. I was like 4 dungeons from finishing it, but I can't. I don't think I can do it.
Ah, that was
I-
that was me with Dragon Quest Dark Prince.
The thing was, like, I could tell Mystic Quest was bad very quickly. It
Yeah.
doesn't take very long to realize that it's not a good game. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna push through this.
it was made with ill intent.
Every yeah, the music's like the music and the sprite work are good.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's about it. But
What?
there's nothing else redeeming about that game.
What?
The gameplay is terrible. The story is nothing. I just I feel a little bad about it because I I know a couple people who are like huge fans of it, having
Yeah,
grown
I
up with
know
it as
a
a
couple
kid.
who are like huge fans. It's mainly if they
Yeah.
like grew up with it, basically.
Isn't
Yeah.
that the
I-
one where like the developers are like, oh yeah, these guys are overseas are shit at this game. We need to dumb it down for them.
Pretty
It was
much.
made entirely for Americans. I don't
Yeah,
think it was made for.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like that's what Kyle was saying. It was like it was just made. It was called Final Fantasy USA in Japan. So yeah, that's telling. Yeah, it was made with the hubris that like foreigners are dumb and bad at JRPGs, so we need to make a dumb bad game for them. We need to make like the babyest JRPG ever.
To their
The
credit,
manual has a guide for the beginning of the game.
They eventually found like better ways of doing it, like with Super Mario RPG and Final Fantasy VII, like simplifying things and like including stuff that I thought. I mean, I'm not like the biggest fan of
7's
Final
quite
Fantasy.
good.
Well, I'm just saying like the system
I'll be
is
right
a
back.
lot easier for like new players to understand than than like the system is kind of boring to me, but like for new players, the Final Fantasy VII system works pretty well. It seems.
It's just active time battle, right? Or yeah, it's like the ATV
stuff like the
ATV
material,
guards.
but like it extends to stuff like the materia system and like the like complete freedom of customization you have with the characters, and like they're kind of like
Oh,
pretty
I see.
interchangeable, and
I'm back.
like the materia system is basically like a dumbing down of like the magicite and relic system from Final Fantasy VI.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I got a
Um,
I got a celebratory maybe new job sticker, by the way.
Nice.
It
I like.
is, if I wrote a book, it would be banned in Florida. That's what the sticker says.
Yeah, I think you will enjoy Final Fantasy VI. There's not really another game quite like it, I would say.
I would
It's not
say
the
that
type of
9 is very much like it.
in what way?
I gotta say this
Them
about 7
thematically.
when you're done.
Thematically. They reference 6 a shit ton in 9.
I'm talking about like a lot of things when I'm talking about there's not quite another game.
I mean, that's fair.
Final Fantasy IX is Dragon Ball Z.
Like I'm not talking about like just like the and like the like thematically like I mean Final Fantasy VI like is like pretty steampunk before steampunk was like way overused.
It does have some kick-ass robots.
But that's not even what I'm talking about. Basically, I'm not even like really going to go into stuff because like it could be seen as a spoiler, even though it's not. Like a lot of it's like a poorly kept secret. Basically,
40-year-old game, 30-year-old
yeah,
game.
I mean, it was a poorly kept secret even back when it was released, frankly. But like the dumb thing is that like a lot of people and they like even Square Enix themselves, like the thing that they hype up about it when they talk about it is the opera scene and the Magitech armor like intro and stuff. And these things are cool, but I don't think that they're what makes the game worth talking about.
They're
Like
10,000% why 9 is the way it is at the beginning, though.
the I mean, yeah, like the it's like the play scene basically, but it's like the opera scene is like icing on the cake, and yet it is the thing that like a lot of people, again, like Square Enix themselves, even it's like they highlight the fuck out of it, and it's just like, why are you talking about this versus like all of the other like actually like really important things in the game? Because like the thing is like the opera scene could be removed from Final Fantasy VI, and it wouldn't make the experience that different. It has very little plot relevance, and it's I do think that it
It,
like makes the experience not that important to the experience.
it's because
I gotta
people
say,
really love the MIDI orchestra.
I didn't beat 7, so I don't want to speak too much about it. But like from
Uh-huh.
what I've played of it, I gotta say, my impression of Cloud is not at all what people
Oh yeah,
act
Cloud is like a
was.
way
Like
he's like a
Cloud,
way different character than a lot of people treat him as.
like
Cloud's a
in fact,
dork.
Yeah.
frankly, he's nothing like what the remake seemed to make it. He was not like
Oh
a
yeah.
stoic guy. Like he has like just crippling PTSD was like the
I mean,
main character trait for him. And
Cloud in the Cloud in like all like post Final Fantasy VII material is like a different character, basically.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
I
And
think
like
he's actually literally like I think he's like changed a whole lot, basically. So like partly it makes sense, but partly it's also just them like playing up like the stoic badass angle.
I don't like that though. It's so much less
Yeah.
interesting than like there's a
I think
scene
he's
where
an interesting
he
character, but he's like it's
Well, ultimately, the problem is, you know, Seven's trying to tell his story and nothing else is because they're just referencing him. They're like, hey, you
yeah, they're
remember
just
this cool guy? You know, let's see him do the cool thing.
yeah, pretty much. But it's like it doesn't really do him justice, basically.
Pretty much. Like, I thought he was very, very engaging, and I was surprised because I expected to find him boring because of how everyone
Yeah,
acts like him. And I don't
yeah.
know. Like, I'm not super interested in the stoic badass character archetype, so I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
People treat him
But
like he's Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, basically,
yeah,
but he's not.
And Squall sucks.
Yeah, nobody really likes him.
Except my brother. My brother loves Squall.
Yeah, I mean there are people who like him, but it's like.
You
I don't
know
want to
who?
say. I don't want to assume too much about your brother, but at the same, but like.
Oh no, he's fine. He's fine. It's just, grew up with it.
Yeah.
you know who I like?
Ooh.
Ooh.
VV.
Oh yeah. Well,
VV is very interesting. That that
Vivi,
Yeah.
whole group is really.
Vivi is a
Yeah.
good.
I think the Final Fantasy game that I would like to go back to from the PlayStation era of games most is 9. I never got like very far in it. I got to like the hunting festival, and like I fell for the trap, and I tried to do as best as possible, and I couldn't do it, so I quit. I mean, I didn't
I
like
did a
consciously quit. It was just like, oh, I'll get back to this sometime, and then it never happened. You know how that goes.
yeah, I do that with a
No.
lot of media, so I get
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna be
Um,
honest. I really don't understand why it's that difficult.
I couldn't tell you now. It's been over 2 decades.
I mean, that's fair. I just remember when I went back around and said like, okay, I'm gonna beat this game. I like did it in one try. It was it was
You know,
nothing.
our Japanese friend who we've been talking to actually loves Final Fantasy IX,
Ooh, really?
and like it's his favorite Final Fantasy. And I was talking with him about it. And he was trying to give me a bunch of advice about the hunting festival, and it's like, ah, it's fun.
I love the card game.
I ran. Oh, I did too. Oh
he
my
hates how
god.
much like it wasn't popular in Japan, so it's just like he was like he makes him cry. So,
That's so sad. It's such a
I mean,
love letter to the franchise too.
Final Fantasy in general is not as popular in Japan as it is in the West and
It's
North America
the
in
number.
particular.
It's the
I
number
mean,
3 RPG, right? Or number 2.
like
Uh,
to
Or
Japan's
Dragon Quest.
to Japan's credit, they know about the superior game, which is Dragon Quest.
it might have been. I might fight you on that, but at the same time, I don't have like nearly as much
You may
experience
fight
with
me
it.
on it, but I will win.
I definitely
I
have enjoyed Final Fantasy games more than
I've
Dragon
enjoyed.
Quest games.
You are valid
But
in your opinion. You are correct to have it, but I will win this fight. That I am
I mean,
not
I'm not really
actually.
fighting.
I know
You're allowed
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That I am pretending that it is like a thing worth arguing about when it's entirely personal preference.
I need to play more Dragon Quest, and I'd like to play more Dragon Quest. I think for for like personal preference, I probably prefer a lot of stuff from like the earlier Final Fantasies. From later Final Fantasies, I might prefer Dragon Quest though.
Well, that's part of
I
what I
think
was going to say was
you should
at
play
least
10.
I mean, Dragon Quest's big thing is being consistent.
you can't play 10.
Yeah, you can.
Final Fantasy 10.
Oh no. Dragon
You
Quest
should
10.
play FF10.
Dragon
I don't know.
Quest
I liked
10
it, but
is
I
an
forgot.
MMO. And I was like,
Yeah.
You mean to tell me the only one you played was Final Fantasy VII?
what?
I mean,
Who said
they're
that?
No one
Who
said
said
that.
that?
Nicholas being a jokey joke. He's having a joke time. He's making the jokes.
That's the year like 2001, because then that might have been the only Final Fantasy game.
I
someone
mean,
would
there's a
play.
lot of people. I think there's a lot of people even now who've only played Final Fantasy VII,
And they're wrong.
if that.
They are lower than scum. No, I'm kidding.
They have to be much. They'd have to be like our age or older. I can't imagine someone younger being like, "Oh, Final Fantasy VII is the only one I've played," and then they're like 20. Like I don't know. I feel like
Misa, I think there's a lot of people who are like our age
I was
only
about
played
to
Final
say,
Fantasy
like,
VII.
I know a couple actually.
Misa,
I think there
Personally,
are
know a couple.
plenty of people.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Wait, who are 20 who have only played 7?
Who are
Misa,
like 30.
No, 30
there.
makes more sense to me because 30 you would have played it as a kid and then maybe never played another. That's what I'm saying. But like, I can't.
I think
Like, if you're
22 though.
There are people who have only played the remake of 7.
Yeah,
that, I believe, but that's not the same game.
but I mean, I think that there are a lot of people who have only played 7 also.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it's possible. Like, it has had a re-release, but like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, 7 is like the most hyped up thing on the planet. So
Isn't 14 more popular at this point?
That's an MMO though. That's practically not the same thing.
I mean, you say that, but the single player experience is way bigger than any multiplayer stuff you do in that game.
As a World of Warcraft person, I will never admit my loss.
if you're asking if there are people who have played 7 only and have not played 14, I mean, then yes, I think that there are a lot of people
I mean,
who have still only played 7.
well, that wasn't my question, but
And are there people who have only played 14? Yes, obviously, but I think
feel like that's more. I feel like that's more likely, is I guess the point. But I guess, yeah, I'm sure that. I don't know.
is it? I mean, I don't know if I can say. I will say is.
Are there people who have only played critically acclaimed MMORPG, Baldur's Gate Online?
I don't know if I can say at this point if there are like more people who have only played 14 or more people who have only played 7. I still kind of want to veer towards 7 just because like it was such a big thing. But I mean, 14 does have a lot of power at this point.
I like 14, but I
How-
am not very far into it.
How dare you enjoy things that I don't?
It also takes forever, though, so it's kind of.
Have you played 14, Cow?
I have. I tried it.
Yeah.
I
Didn't like it.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
I haven't played
70
it, so.
levels.
I was like
It is so many
level.
free levels now. Yeah, that's true.
I was like level 14, and like just like the combat just was not what I
that's
was
the
looking
worst part of
for.
it. That's the worst part of the
The
game.
combat is confusing to me, frankly. I don't really know what to make of it from what I've seen, just like from an outsider perspective.
It's bad.
Oh, if you watch someone playing it and you haven't like, because the game is okay. Let me start this over. The game, when you're playing it for the first time, tries to hand you a few features at a time so you're not overwhelmed. If you watch a veteran player as someone who's never played it, you will just see a huge mess of a hotbar that you have no idea what anything is on. And it'll be like 30 buttons, and you'll be like, what?
Right.
Whereas if you're playing it, you'll get used to what those buttons are and know like when to do them.
Just like the basic like thing of it though, like I'm not really like I don't know, I guess this thing is just like you just like wait for skill cooldown, pop skill.
I mean, yeah, but then there's like tempo to it, and like everything feels floaty. You're like a big problem of mine with 14 was just like the movement is very clunky when I was used to Warcraft where it's like super precise. It goes, it's like running around on ice skates versus running around on like cleats.
I don't know, man. The only Final Fantasy, the only MMOs I've played are not even like truly MMOs. They're just like DFO and PSO. Those are the MMOs that I've played. DFO, it's heart. Oh, you can't see it, but I'm holding my hand up for the heart. And it's like, you want to talk about fast-paced. If you want a fast-paced game, we'll go play that shit.
I don't want a fast-paced one necessarily, just one that's like safely paced.
It's a carpal tunnel game.
Can't argue. Not playing it anymore, though not because of that, just for my own good in terms of like not playing like MMOs. Basically.
Oh god, I'm gonna be real with you. DFO, like I think it's really, I thought it was really fun, but like I feel
It's a
like
lot of
it's
fun, but
very much
it's still like an MMO that like coerces you into playing and buying stuff and whatnot. So
it veers away from its original intent, which was like the game doesn't really feel as much of like a beat 'em up by the end of it. Like
I
you're
get you.
just throwing out the flashiest stuff possible. It doesn't like
I guess it depends on what class you're playing, but
but
No,
I remember when like
it
the
doesn't.
highest level was like level 35 and
oh
like
yeah,
I felt like it was a lot I don't know. I kind of liked when it was clunkier because it gave me more of like a Double Dragon vibe, if that makes sense. But
A little bit of clunk is nice because it gives you something to lean against, where you can say, okay, I can only get so good at this, at some point it doesn't matter. And that's comforting. But, like, the movement being clunky, that's just punishing you. You know?
anyway, I get what you're talking about because just especially depending on like what class you're playing, it could definitely
being
just
like
feel like other MMOs.
yeah, like Lancer stuff and like they're just like throwing around like just huge nukes all the time. I don't know. It was that plus like they kept revising the story like
I didn't
constantly
have a problem with that.
and I struggled with it.
They did literally nuke the world because they gave up.
What DFO?
Oh, sorry, I thought we were on 14 still.
No, no, we've been on DFO
Oh,
for a while here.
14 nuked the world once, but that involved a writer change
I
or a
know.
director change, whatever.
I know.
Um,
I remember the whole drama around it.
it was a good decision, honestly. The
I
original
agree.
game doesn't look nearly as good.
For DFO, they nuked and reshaped the world, and it was like a different timeline where different stuff happened. I thought it was cool. Then, like after we stopped playing, they went back on it apparently, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Like, I don't even mean it in like a sense of like disagreeing with the change. I think that the reboot was a good idea and it panned out very well.
The game was gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean,
Final Fantasy 14 base game sucked.
it's
But
still
like,
canon. It just takes the current game takes place like 15 years after that or something. So
yeah, it's
yeah, everyone's original character died, which is kind of funny. But there's a lot of times where the current plot references the old one. So yeah.
I am not going to play MMOs anymore either way, though. Obviously, but
It's
I know
fair.
you're not like. It's just like I shouldn't be doing that with my life. Trust me. I definitely have like moments where it's like, maybe I could play DFO again, but then I'm like, no,
No.
no.
DFO is like particularly bad because like it really is a gear
I mean, it's a
treadmill.
free to
Like
play MMO.
full.
I will wrap my arms around you, give you a massive hug, and force you to play World of Warcraft one of these days. And it will destroy both of our lives, and I will
If you're talking
apologize.
to me, if you're talking to me, I have played World of Warcraft and I
No,
didn't
Nah,
like it.
she's
no.
talking to me.
Okay.
She's talking to me, and like, it's
Gotcha.
or no, excuse me, no, he's Cow is talking to me. He is talking to me.
And then I will apologize for having done so, but I will do it without thinking anyway. I will destroy us all through hot night elves and even hotter Draenei.
I'm not playing any MMO.
I know
I
you're
might.
not going to. I know you're not going to.
Honestly, it's a reasonable decision.
What I might play, what I might be interested in playing again is PSO.
like
PSO is like much less. I mean, PSO isn't even like officially available anymore, obviously.
to
But like,
clarify, I'm being very
I know you're being
facetious.
facetious. I know you're being facetious, Cow. I know.
But I'll do it. I'll do it.
Refuse.
And I
But,
will accept that refusal, but then I'll ask again another day because I
Have
forget.
you played PSO, Cow? Not Cow. Have you played? Well, sure, you too. But Misa, have you played PSO?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't think so.
Fun
Did
game.
that have a GameCube release?
Yeah, it did.
Then I probably played that version a little bit, but not very much.
I played that a lot, but I played the Blueburst, like private servers.
I
Um,
played a PSP game.
you played Fantasy Star Universe. You played like
I bought.
you played like a game that was like, yeah.
You know what I bought recently though? Was the original Phantasy Star. Because the Switch has a release with auto mapping and like 4x experience, and I'm just like, hell yeah! I will play this without with less grinding than the original version.
Fantasy.
That sounds wonderful.
That's a good version from what Infa tells me. You were playing that, weren't you, Infa? If you're still alive and not like sleepy.
Uh-oh.
He's probably asleep, but it's fine. Normal.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear that's a good version, and yeah, it'd be cool to play.
I
still want to
wonder.
go back to Fantasy Star 4 sometime because that game's real good.
I also want to play that, but I feel like if I'm going to play them, I might play them in order just because I am more than happy
I hear
to punish
two.
myself.
I hear 2 and 3 ain't so hot.
Oh
Especially
no!
You know what genuinely
Well,
terrifies
play
me?
them modded or whatever with more experience. But yeah, if they're that bad, then maybe not.
You know what genuinely terrifies me?
What?
There's probably someone out there whose idea of an MMO comes from Sword Art Online.
Probably. And from Dot Hack and whatnot.
My idea of an MMO comes from Greed Island. They're all like that.
DFO is my best frame of reference for MMOs, even though it wasn't like... It's not like an MMO in the sense of that, like, FF14... It's not to the scale of, like, FF14 and FF11 and World of Warcraft. But it is my best frame of reference for what an MMO is like, I think.
If you die in real life, you die in the video game.
Yep.
If you die in the game, you die in Chicago.
Exclusively.
We're not entirely sure why. We just know it's true. So, there's a really weird thing with Fallout 4's settlement system, where, reasonably speaking, you should actually be building your defenses pointed inward instead of outward. And the reason for this is when enemies spawn into the universe, they spawn at set points, and very often that set point is actually inside the settlement itself. So if you build walls, for example, you're not keeping anything out because they will just spawn inside the walls. I don't know. I just think that's interesting.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Hey, take your time. I feel kind of bad because I was saying something I think's interesting, but then it kind of came out as a non sequitur. Our friend who's having account problems right now was messaging me, and he seems to have somewhat given up, he's saying, with regards to his account.
It hasn't even been that long, has it?
It hasn't. I don't know what to tell him. I'm gonna be honest, I think I don't know what to think, but like something's up. Something's weird. And I want to reassure him and tell him everything's okay, but I just don't know what's actually going on at this point.
Yeah, it's weird. Whatever was going on.
I think he's overreacting in any case, but at this point it seems like he just doesn't want to be involved in things, and you know, I've told him countless times that's fine.
Yeah.
I like this character. Her name is Ronnie Shaw.
Not shy, Ronnie.
Oh, hi, Info. We thought you were dead.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
There's something else I want to say, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. Name's Ronnie Shaw, as in Sha.
I feel like going and playing some more Contra Operation Galleygut.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
I beat it. Didn't I? Oh yeah, you weren't there. I beat it.
I saw you fighting an
You were there.
alien dude.
Oh yeah, you were there for a little while.
Yeah,
I beat it.
but then went out for like we decided to do like eat out for a change.
I beat it, and you get the option to unlock 3 more characters and some more songs. Except it's all expensive as fuck, and you need to grind the game a bunch. But
but you're going to do it.
At the very least, there are good options for doing that.
You're going to do it.
It's a fun game. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to unlock more stuff. I think they went overboard, but like I don't know. It's not like it's a game that
I often find that myself thankful for like games that just kind of don't know when to quit. I
mean, okay. Well, here's the thing. It's not that it's not the lack of. It's not the amount of content. I appreciate that. It's more that they made the content require a lot of grinding.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can absolutely like make it too grindy. I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, man. I know. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is a nightmare when it comes to that kind of thing. Have you ever played it?
Cow, no.
I didn't think you had, but like for some reason I was like, the question was there.
The most exposure I have to Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the Bring the Abridged series, my friend.
Just looking to trade a little.
Really?
Yes.
I thought the most exposure you had to Yu-Gi-Oh! Was through me.
Well, other than that, you know what I mean.
You know, I gotta pick up some.
Oh, actually, okay, that's untrue. That's untrue.
I gotta pick up the
slack.
slack.
The manga. I read the manga up until it was like time for the card game to take over. Not when it was introduced, but you know, like after like what was it, like Dungeon Dice Monsters, I think it was. Like after Dungeon Dice Monsters, the Shonen Jump runs shifted to the. It's like okay, we're gonna skip over all the Battle City stuff and like all the card, and we're gonna go straight to like the Millennium Puzzle arc, where it's just you know like we go back to Ancient Egypt arc. I read that for a little bit, and then I was just like, well, I mean, I like stopped getting the American run of Shonen Jump because I was kind of like, eh.
Oh yeah, the distribution was super weird with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
They like cut it up, and like there's still some stuff you can't get.
Yeah, but
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't have that much experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've never played like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games or anything like that.
One of these days, I'm gonna make you play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Keep calm.
I will see. We will see about that. But like, not like I'm like. I mean, I told you like it's.
Oh, I'm not gonna literally force you, but I will figuratively force you. Nah, that sounded bad.
That's the only good thing about it.
No, that's hurtful.
What?
Only good thing about it's the song?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hurtful. No, like I know you don't want to play it, and I'm not going to like force you to. I will ask you, and I will be very happy if you ever agree to. But like,
It's not
uh,
like I'm like no, never. It's just like,
can you imagine if I was shallow enough that if you said no, I'd be like throwing a bitch fit?
well, we're not friends anymore.
Rah, 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 rah.
I respect it more.
I mean, why?
Because you're standing 10 toes on a franchise you like.
Feels like
And
a
also proceed to insult fucking his favorite franchise as well.
Zargon. Would you like if I insult your favorite franchise?
Have I insulted Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
Why are we talking about like insulting each other's favorite franchises?
I'm not entirely sure. Infa brought it up.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't let him talk shit about Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't tell him say he never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Saying he never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the equivalent of saying your show's trash.
No, it's not.
No,
Tell him it wasn't on his radar, it was trash. He didn't see it.
I mean,
He
being
was
Mr.
watching. Hey.
And so why you being Mr. Instigator Troll? Why you
Listen,
get your dogs like
listen.
this?
You were watching the same block of shows that were on the same channel. You had a
Was I?
chance to watch
Was I?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Was I?
Were you? Were you?
Was
Was Pokemon on?
I? Not at the same time. Yu-Gi-Oh was on.
Ah, come on! Don't give me that. It was the same block.
I
I
watched
don't think it was actually.
Pokemon. No, I watched Pokemon in like syndication. I never like really watched it on like Fox Kids and whatnot. Like I watched it when it came to like WB, but I don't
What
think
channel
Yu-Gi-Oh
was
was on
Yu-Gi-Oh
there.
on?
Not WB. I don't think. It was
I
like
It was
Fox Kids.
WB.
it was on
No,
W.
it was on
No,
WB.
it was on WB, but it was a different time frame. And by the time
Yeah,
that Yu-Gi-Oh really got into like full swing, Pokemon was moved over to Cartoon Network.
yeah,
And then Yu-Gi-Oh was moved to Cartoon Network because, as it turns out,
yeah.
Warner Brothers is very bad at their business, and they always have been.
Wait, doesn't Warner Brothers own Cartoon Network?
Yes.
I thought they did.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you think we're contesting that?
Wait, I was. Oh, because I just joined in the middle of the conversation, and
They moved it
I
from
thought that.
WB to Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I remember that shift.
Okay, I may have forgotten
Um,
for a moment that WB owns Cartoon Network.
that was
Yeah.
what I. Yeah, because you said that it was
I may be
bad for the business.
stupid.
I was like, wait,
I may be
it's
stupid.
just moved
There,
one
there,
from
there,
one channel to one to another.
there's a
Yeah.
very distinct possibility that I may be stupid.
Anyway,
But I'll never admit it.
even though you low-key maybe did.
I'll never high-key admit it.
You're only stupid if you think that. Well, I won't get there.
If my...
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm done. I'm
Go,
done.
go on. Say it.
No, I'm not. I can't.
No, no.
I
Say,
won't.
use your
I can't say what I
words.
want to say. I can't say what I want to say.
Okay.
What do you want to say?
Well, stream's still going. I will be right back. So, like, don't feel like you gotta say anything by any means. Only be within your comfort zone.
Clown parties. We like those clown parties, right, Misa?
Yeah, I do, but sorry, I just got said something great, and
Okay. Oh, I wasn't. I was like,
I'm sorry. It
no, it's
happened at
okay.
the same time. I'm sorry. Here's the picture that I got sent. Yeah, I love clown parties.
They're the best. All those hot
Wait,
clowns.
clowns? Did you say clowns?
Oh, good.
But yeah, clown.
Did you check this yet?
reminds
Automatron?
me I was talking with Infa about Unicorn Overlord and saying that like it's like the influences in Unicorn Overlord were like we're going to combine regular chocolate with milk chocolate. That's our
What?
spicy combination.
I'm very confused.
Do you know what Unicorn Overlord is?
Yeah, it's a Vanillaware game, but I don't
Yes.
know. Are you criticizing it, or
Yes.
what's? I'm not sure I understand the criticism. I guess is what I'm
It's
saying.
like a very boring, like straight up like take on just like Fire Emblem and Ogre Battle. Basically, it's not really saying anything about either. It's just kind of trying to combine them, and it's like that's what we're doing with this
Oh,
game. We're trying to combine Fire Emblem and Ogre Battle, and it's like trying to combine milk chocolate with regular chocolate.
the Vanillaware games that I like
Like
are
most Vanillaware games, I'll let you finish
I like.
because I am interested. Most Vanillaware games before this point are pretty flavorful. Like they're pretty cool, and like George Kamatani's direction is like really cool because he was kind of like I'm gonna like celebrate like fine art and like throw a few like anime and game references in there, but like this new guy who's directing this game is just kind of like, I really want to make Fire Emblem and use a whole bunch of Ogre Battle references and like the Yasumi Matsuno art style and stuff. And it's like you're combining like two pretty like, I mean, it's not like those things by themselves are boring, but it's just like you're not saying anything with this. You know what I mean? Not that everything needs to like say something. It's just like it feels like it lacks like flavor. You know what I mean? It feels like it lacks spice.
I definitely feel like RPGs of all genres should say something. If there's a genre that definitely has to be saying something, it's that.
I think it's definitely like yeah. I think and like
Yeah,
because like this
I
is
don't.
like a game with like an SRPG plot. Like from what Infa and others have said, like this has like the most basic ass SRPG. Like this is Fire Emblem One plot of like all time, and it's like it doesn't seem to have any like reason for doing so other than just like remember remember SRPGs, remember early SRPG plots, and it's just like cool, yeah. What about them?
um, my favorite Vanillaware game actually has very little story that matters, but
It's not even just about the story though. It's just like about like the flavor of the game just in general.
mhm,
Because it's not like there's like that much like important story to like Dragon's Crown, for example.
that's my favorite
Yeah.
Vanillaware
But like
game.
Dragon's Crown has like so much spice, like so much like sauce and like flavor to it, you know what I mean?
I
Yeah, it
have
really does too.
returned.
Oh my, it's so fun.
I mean, it's
Like
probably my favorite Vanillaware game too, to be honest. Although, like, I don't know, like it's between that and like
Odin Spear is
Muramasa.
fun.
We talk
Yeah,
about Odin Sphere?
we're talking about like Vanillaware and just like
Uh,
like how Unicorn Overlord like it has no spice, it has no sauce, it has no flavor.
Hey, the power's blinking, I gotta go.